Welcome USS Constitution crew. I'm Gunner's Mate Second Class, Carlos Nieves, and today I'll be going over a disassemble and a reassemble, a function check, a pre-fire and post-fire check of the Mark 11 Mod 2 saluting battery. What I have in my hand is something similar to an MRC. That stands for Maintenance Requirement Cards. You guys will get really familiar with that once you join the fleet. What a MRC is a step-by-step guidance on how to perform the job. In this case, it will be disassembling the gun and reassembling the gun. Welcome back, Constitution crew. What I have in my hand is a pre-fire check that we'll complete together. Again, this is not an actual MRC, but it's written like an MRC would be written. The first thing says pre-fire, and the next thing is PPE. You will always see that in MRC. Your PPE is your personal protective equipment. In this case, it's your safety glasses, which we have right here. Then there's a note. You always want to read the note. The notes are to remind you of what you're supposed to do and to give you helpful hints of how to complete the next steps. The first note says, if you cannot complete a step, contact the security department with a step you cannot complete, what action you took to try to complete it, and leave your time and your contact information. Now we're going to step 1 of our MRC. It says remove back cover. This is the back cover. We'll remove that. And it says lift top cover to expose breech. This is the top cover, expose or breech. And ensure the breech block is fully flush with the top of the gun, which it is. For the next step, it says pick up your crankshaft lever from under the gun, it's right here, and mount it to the side of the gun at a 90-degree angle, which is 90 degrees. Slide on. Now it says push crankshaft lever forward. This will put the breech in a down position. We push forward, and now we're going to use our eyes to make sure the gun is clear. So we'll look down the barrel to ensure there's nothing inside the gun. So the gun is clear. Now we're going to ensure the crankshaft lever stops in a safe position when we bring it back. What we're going to do is grab on our crankshaft, pull back, it stops. That's going to be our extractor lever. We're going to pull that back, bring our crankshaft to the lever stop. That's our safe position. This gun is now cleared and safe. We'll continue with our steps. We're going to grab onto our lever stop, pull it to the side, grab our crankshaft, and pull down, and should hear a click. That's the firing pin engaging. There's a click. Now it says, ensure your safety glasses are on to prevent any debris from falling in your eyes. The next step we're going to do is check to make sure the firing pin is present. We put our safety equipment on, and we're going to look underneath the breech of the gun, and we're going to ensure the firing pin is protruding. That concludes our pre-fire check. This will be the disassemble process of the gun. So we have our MRC, or what's acting like our MRC. Again, has our PPE, what we'll need. It says we need safety glasses and latex gloves. This has a tools requirement. So when you have our tools, in this little green ammo can, this should be normally located on the front side of the gun mount. We open this up, and we have a T-striker that we'll be using, and a spindle extractor we'll be using as well. So, first step says put on your gloves and then your glasses. So put our gloves on. And then our glasses. Now it says ensure the weapon is clear and safe. For further pre-fires, steps A through F for guidance. Well, we just did a pre-fire check. If you have any guidance, go back to the pre-fire to learn how to clear and safe it. So, got our gloves on, got our eyes on. Now it says, move cotter pin, like so, and slide bushing off, like so. Now, there is a warning here. It says, breech block is extremely heavy, followed by a caution. It says, once crankshaft is removed, the breech block will fall. Be very mindful of that. So Warnings are safety features for us. Cautions are safety features for the gun, so no damage happens to the gun. So it says, using left hand, grab onto your crankshaft. With right hand, reach under to ensure you can catch that breech block. It says pull on your crankshaft until your breech block and your crankshaft arms fall off. Set aside our breech block for a second. Now it says use spindle extractor, place on the right side of the gun into the extractor lever, spinning in a clockwise manner. Once you can't spin no longer, pull away from the gun, ensuring the spindle comes out. Now we'll dig our hands in and remove our extractors. That's our extractor assembly. This is how you take the extractor assembly apart. Now we're going to go back to our breech block. We're going to turn it to the side. It says remove outer cocking lever. You pull right outside, your outer cocking lever. And it says push on your sear to ensure the inner cocking lever falls out. Once you pull on that sear, the inner cocking lever falls out. You have your inner cocking lever. And then you'll pull your sear and sear spring out from the breech. It's your sear and sear spring. Now we'll use our T-striker to push into our fire pin back cover. We'll push in and we'll turn counterclockwise until the pressure is released from our firing pin back cover. Now we'll tilt the breech block over and the firing pin and firing pin spring will fall out. That's your firing pin spring, and that is a full disassemble of the Mark 11 Mod 2 saluting battery. Welcome back, Constitution crew, for the reassemble and function check of the Mark 11 Mod 2 40mm saluting battery. So, again, we have our MRC. It has our PPE, safety goggles, and latex gloves. And again, the note says, if you can't complete a step, report it back to security department. So, first step, boom, gloves, glasses on. Second step, we're going to pick up our extractors and place them together. We're going to use our spindle extractor tool, which is already connected to our spindle, and we're going to use our left hand to place our extractors into the gun, and our spindle is going to go into our extractor lever. You're going to bring it down. Once you can get that in there, your extractors will fall. You'll use your thumb and middle finger to push up on the extractors while they're inside the gun, and you'll find that little sweet spot. And once the spindle is completely flush inside the gun, you'll spin off the spindle extractor tool counterclockwise and remove. Then we'll put our breech back together. Step says take the breech, put it upside down. You're going to take your sear and sear spring, and you're going to take your inner cocking lever, and you're going to place the sear and sear spring in. There's a little notch that's going to connect with your sear. You're going to push in on the sear. Until the notch catches, like so. Then you'll take your outer cocking lever, and you see a little bit of the notch of the sear that's sticking out. The little elbow you see of the outer cocking lever is going to hold that. So it's not completely flush. That's okay. Use your cotter pin to pick up and adjust the inner cocking lever. Place the outer cocking lever like such so it's completely flush with the sear sticking out. Turn that back right side up. You'll take your right hand crankshaft and left hand crankshaft. Hands are for holding. This is going to hold our breech block in place. We're going to slide these on the sides. It does not click into anything, so you have to assist this fully the whole time. Now, we're going to take our crankshaft, and it has to go through our crankshaft hands inside the gun. We're going to push up until you can no longer push on the breech block. Now use your fingers to assist the crankshaft hands until you're in line. And your crankshaft's going to go right through like so and hold that. You can take your bushing, take your cotter pin, pinch your cotter pin so it goes inside the bushing a little bit, makes it easier for reassembling. You're going to align this hole with the hole on your crankshaft. Once you have it aligned, you're going to push through until the cotter pin is sticking out. Now, we're going to grab our charging handle and mount it. We're going to mount this as forward as possible until it catches. Should be almost in the up and down position. We're going to pull back. It's going to stop on our crankshaft lever stop. We're going to pull that. Now it's going to stop again. Now we have to move our extractor lever and pull all the way down. This charging handle is now in the maintenance position. This is so we can safely get our firing pin inside there. If we remove this charging handle right now, this whole entire breech will fall and you damage to the gun. Every step in our MRC will show you all the safeties, requirements as far as warnings and cautions. Now we take our firing pin, place it inside the back of the breech, followed by our firing pin spring, followed by our firing pin back cover. Now this thing has a little diamond engraved in it. You have to put that in the up position. When you're T-striker, push in, and there's also an arrow on the back of this breech, and we're going to line the diamond with the arrow. We're going to place this like so, push in, and it'll be fully seated once that diamond is touching the arrow. We'll remove our charging handle and put it back at that 90-degree position. That concludes our reassemble, but every time you reassemble a gun, you have to do something called a function check. So we're going to go right into how to do a proper function check. A function check's purpose is to make sure all the parts of the gun are working and operating correctly. So what we're going to do is go to our next MRC, which is our function check. It says we're going to push on the charging handle forward. We're going to look down the barrel to ensure it's clear. And now we're going to check all the functions. We're going to pull back on our charging handle, and it should stop on our extractors. So now what we have to do is use our extractor lever, flick that towards us, and bring the charging handle towards us. Now it's stopped on the lever stop, which is good, another function of the gun. So since the lever stop, or people call it our safety, is engaged, it's working, it did its job. Now we'll remove that safety, that lever stop to the side, and we'll pull it down towards us to fire the gun. Now what we're checking for is the firing pin to be protruding on the front of the bolt face. So I'll look underneath and verify the firing pin is there. You do this a total of 3 times. Push forward, ensure it's clear, pull back on the charging handle, pull back on the extractor lever, ensure it stops, pull back on your safety, lever stop, pull down towards you. That's 2. Check to see if the firing pin is protruding, still is. One more time, because that's what the MRC says to do. Push your charging handle forward, look down the barrel, ensure it's safe, pull back on our charging handle, pull back on our extractor lever, ensure it stops on our safety lever stop, pull back on that, pull down towards us, check for the 3rd time, firing pin is present, and we'll pull back on that safety lever stop and dismount our charging handle. we'll pull our top cover down, and we'll do the last step, which is putting our back cover on. That's our stowed position. And that concludes our reassemble and function check of the Mark 11 Mod 2 40mm sling battery.